I guess I'll do this one. This one's like 30 minutes. I wonder what she's addressing.
Okay, guys, I'm live on YouTube.
Oh, God.
I have not done YouTubes in a few years, but promising you guys in 2021, I'm going to make sure that I have at least a weekly type video show going on YouTube. So much going on in this election. A few things I want to talk to you about. We got to talk about Beijing Biden. We need to talk about the last stand against socialism. But I think most importantly, I want to start by just saying I hope that every single person right now is reconsidering their GOP picks for 2024, because wow, are we not learning right now how many people in the Republican Party are absolutely spineless. I mean, I knew they were spineless. You knew they were spineless, but everybody who's supposed to be like, oh, look at this person, they're so amazing, who is not speaking up right now in terms of the fraud going on in this election and in terms of...
Because they know it's bullshit. Like, you can say spineless all you want, but they just know it's bullshit, dude.
Of everything that we are seeing, they are cowards and they do not deserve our support or our vote. This election is obviously not over.
Then who will you be voting for?
Unfortunately for Democrats who do not understand how government works and who get all of their information from the mainstream media, they think that when CNN calls a projection or Fox News calls a projection, that means that the votes are in and it's official, and they just, are feeling on civics courses. So I want to take...
So, the thing here that I'll agree, yeah, the media can't call an election, but at this point, right, you know that a lot of these states and stuff like that flip due to mail-in ballots. So you're saying you honestly think that waiting more time as more, let's say, mail-in ballots are counted or something like that, that it's going to somehow switch to Trump? That doesn't even make sense. They already counted the later votes, and that's what caused the change. Unless, a shit ton of mail-in ballots are going to come in from, from Trump supporters, which they're not, because he told them not to fucking mail-in vote. He told them to go to the polls. Then you can expect the same result regardless. Yeah, I agree. Media can't call an election, whatever, right? But in this case, it doesn't even matter. Even if they didn't call it, if people were able to just see the votes in certain areas, we could still just fucking call it.
Let me start by saying to the YouTube and Google gods, this is my opinion. So I'm going to often say in my opinion to make sure this video does not get censored. As we know, the tech overlords love to censor a video and rate it false. You cannot rate an opinion false, which is why I'm suing the fact checkers, which we'll get into later. Okay.
So if you say, this goes into this shit that I saw with her in Joe Rogan, where like she talked about having an opinion on something with no facts to back it up, right? It's like you still just can't say or put on, let's say, like a video, right? Just completely false information and discount it as, oh, but it's my opinion. If it's untrue, it can still be fact checked to be shown as untrue information, right? Google can tell you, or YouTube's fact check or whatever. I don't even know if YouTube does it. I think it's just I've only seen it on Facebook, but Facebook, if that's what it takes, can tell you, since nobody in your fucking comments can tell you you're wrong, like, and still put this shit on the bottom. Regardless of what I say here, right? Somebody that's watching could hear my opinion and be like, damn, that's wrong, because it's not based in anything that's like factually correct.
So I wrote down some notes here. First and foremost, I think I have been the only Republican conservative that has been calling out the rigging of this election since February. You can go back and check my tweets, you can check my videos. The second that Democrats started talking about these lockdowns, the second that America went into a lockdown, the fix was in. I immediately started talking about it on all of my platforms. You can actually go back and watch a video, an interview that I did with Daily Caller, where I said this is the greatest rigging of an American election that has ever taken place. And that, again, was.
Damn. And didn't they do a bipartisan election fucking review? Which, I guess if you don't trust the system at all, and you just don't trust anything, then that doesn't matter. But apparently, because Trump was bitching, they actually did do a fucking bipartisan investigation and found that it was like one of the most secure elections, or the most secure election in recent history. Probably, I mean, if it's the best in recent history, it's probably the best, like, in our history. America's not that old. Like, do you just not believe that either? Is that the
in
idea
early
here?
March when I sat down for that interview. What was I talking about? The way that the has rigged this election has been through illusory elements. Everything has been one big, great illusion. Joe Biden was never a strong candidate against Donald Trump, but they were able to make people believe that he was with the help of the tech, the media, and just all of these other elements. So the first thing that I noticed was they crashed Trump's economy. So we saw that immediately. Going into 2020, Trump was unbeatable. The economy was unbelievably strong. America was back as he had promised. There used to be that expression, it's the economy, which basically meant, okay, if this person has a strong economy, they're definitely going to be guaranteed a second term. And we just felt the red wave coming. And all of a sudden, a pandemic hits, right? The pandemic hits, and now we have to do something we have never done in the history of the United States during a pandemic. Let's not forget, the Revolutionary War was fought during a pandemic, the smallpox pandemic, and we've never seen.
Well, a Revolutionary War is arguably more important, and is more of an immediate issue. The other thing with this, right, is that like I can somewhat understand the corona thing, right? And people saying, oh, it's just as deadly as the flu, right? And I guess that's like I guess that actually is true. The issue wasn't that. It was just that, damn, this shit spreads like a motherfucker. It can actually, it could actually overwhelm the healthcare system in a lot of fucking states. If we just let it spread as it has in other countries, as in, we had other countries as the metric for this that went through this. We have other countries that went through this, did lockdowns, like actually did full lockdowns, right? But they did it, like they actually did it, not half-assed did it, like we did here. And then like they're fine now. I mentioned in my last stream that there are countries that that are been able to open back up due to the fact that like they just did what the fuck they needed to do for a couple months, closed their borders, and then we're just straight. It just don't let anybody leave, don't let anybody come in for the moment. So this shit clears up. It's why, right, we are like a blacklisted country in certain aspects, right? I think it's like cruises specifically. I don't know how it works for flights, but I know like for cruises specifically, apparently Americans are not able to go on cruises. And it's just Americans. Because we're such higher risk to have COVID at the moment. Like I said, I'm personally not worried about catching the virus for myself, right? I'm worried about spreading said virus to somebody else if I do get it. Because that could possibly be bad. Especially if they're, old or some shit. Old or immunocompromised. Use a big word.
Our country shut down because of a flu, because of a swine flu. It's just never happened before, and yet they were insisting on going through these extraordinary means and creating this illusion of fear. They needed Americans to be fearful because Americans were not fearful going into 2020. Jobs were roaring back, our economy was back, things were booming. So what better way to make people fearful than to first and foremost tell them to
I'm gonna be real. I'm all for, right, like following the guidelines and shit. But at no point was I actually ever fucking like fearful. I was just like, I'll social distance, wear the damn mask, just in case I have it so I don't spread it. Social distance so that I can possibly, not get it from somebody else. And then like, if I do get it, I know that I'm gonna have to fucking not, see certain people, not go to certain places. Like, it was just like a little bit of, it was just like a reality for what I thought was going to be a short period of time. It's a lot longer now.
To eliminate their social circles,
Damn,
right?
only
Telling
3 fucking minutes
Americans,
in.
okay, everybody go home now and rely on your screens to tell you what's
Woo!
going on in the world. That gives the media full control and full
Bro, we already do that.
power. They're saying you can't see your family members, you can't see your friends, you can't.
Bro, where do you think your family members are going to get their information from? I don't get it. Everything that goes on in the world, any information that we get that's outside of our fucking doors, we get from a screen, right? Unless you just happen, right, to be in an area where something fucking crazy happens. You're not just gonna fucking go outside and drive, and drive around doing political research and shit. Like, no. All the information we get about what goes on around the world for like the past fucking 20, 30 years, if not more, has all come from a screen. Whether it be a TV screen, your phone, whatever. So like this was already happening. The media has already had for a very, very long time full control over what we're exposed to as far as what's going on in the world. It's actually something that is getting better if, you do things like browse the dark web and shit like that. There are also like smaller, more independent ways to obtain information. Fuck. As much as I hate to say it, fucking Twitter. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, to a certain degree. You're actually able to get kind of like boots on the ground recordings and like videos and shit of things going on at the scenes of like things that you'll see very, very differently portrayed on the news. I've seen that a lot. I mean, so if anything, it's actually gotten like better, maybe.
And just to go back to that death ticker, imagine take anything else, take car accidents. Imagine if every single day on the media they showed you a death ticker of how many people were getting into car accidents. You would
That'd be lit.
probably never get in your car. It was intentional.
No. Okay. No. I mean, I might drive no, I wouldn't drive safer. But somebody might, which would be good. I don't think anybody would be like, oh shit, look how many people are dying in car accidents. I mean, and that's my thing is that like, bro, who was that fucking scared? Like, who was that actually like fucking like, just paralyzed in fear? I don't get it. Same thing with this. If I could see a car accident ticker, it might prompt me to be like, oh, maybe I'll drive safer, right? And and keep in mind, there are laws in place, right, that mandate me driving safer, and I can get punished if I do not drive safe to a certain extent. Like, it's a similar thing with this. You just gotta exist safer.
Never before has there been a presidential election where you've never seen the presidential candidate. We didn't start seeing Joe until about September, when I think he emerged from his basement to do an interview with Cardi B, one of the great thinkers and intellectuals of our time. He was high.
All right, hot take, right? Like actual fucking hot take on like a raw intelligence level. Cardi B and Candace Owens are like fucking neck and neck. Um, Cardi B's intelligence is faulted by her fucking heavily fucking you know southern Atlanta accent. Um, but she's actually made like valid. She's actually made valid points that actual fucking political scholars have done reviews on and shit and been like, oh yeah, that actually makes sense. If you just look past the dialect a little bit, she literally does. Candace Owens literally just does the same thing, um, but with a customer service voice.
Hiding, and they were saying, oh, it's because of the pandemic, it's because of safety. The operative word in this exercise was safety. For our safety, we had to stay home. For our safety, our churches had to be shut down. For our safety, they had to remove differing doctor opinions from Facebook. And now, for our safety, Joe Biden was being responsible by hiding.
Which, by the way, I do disagree with that. Censorship of information is like, look, man, I'm fine actually with like the fact check shit. You know what I mean? Put a fucking fact checker thing under the thing, man. Don't remove the video. You know? Don't do it. Just don't. Because all you do when you do that is just fuel this. You fuel shit like this. Someone goes to be like, they're hiding the truth. They're hiding the motherfucking truth. Fucking inject hydroxychloroquine into your fucking veins, and you'll be straight. The libs don't want you to know this. The mainstream media doesn't want you to know these things. And like, that might even actually prompt somebody more so to do some crazy shit like that. Or to listen to these people. Because regardless, they're gonna find the video. You can take it down all you want. You can take it down off your site if you want. People that want to find it are going to find it. Right? So if instead, you do a little something like this, you put a little fact checker on the bottom, right? You give the article that proves the video wrong, or whatever content that it is wrong. Then the easiest way for them to access the video, the content that they want, will be your platform if you're YouTube or Facebook, right? So they will default to YouTube or Facebook, and at the very least have to see this. But if they see that a video like this is removed, then they'll find it somewhere else that won't put a fucking fact checker on it at all. So yeah, I actually do disagree with this. With this just removal of content. I mean, shit, y'all leave up flat earther shit all the time. Treat it with the same fucking amount of disdain that you do that. Like I said, just put a fucking fact checker on it, dog.
Is that they told Trump it was irresponsible for him to have his rallies. They were dubbed super spreader events, all these terms, super spreader to have it. And Joe Biden, who could not even sell out a cafeteria, a high school cafeteria, was just being responsible. It wasn't because nobody was backing him. It was because he was just being responsible. So we had no way to measure the crowd size of seeing Joe Biden versus Trump until the very end, where Trump just sort of said, forget it. And then we saw these mass audiences, at the MAGA rallies versus what looked to me like drive-in movie theater events that Joe Biden was hosting with maybe 10 of his closest friends. Even in those things, though, try to look up Joe Biden's events, these drive-in events he was doing. The
People over here that are voting or voted for Joe Biden weren't like, oh fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go fucking vote for Joe Biden. I'm gonna go to the rally. You know what I mean? I'm gonna turn the fuck up. Like, no, it was literally just, ah shit. You know, well, we gotta fucking vote for Joe Biden. You know, if we want Trump to fucking not win, you know, oh well. But it wasn't. But Trump supporters, on the other hand, right, are fucking gung ho, fucking cocks out their fucking 2,500 Silverados, back windows and shit, rolling coal and shit on the way to the rallies. Like, they wanted to vote for this motherfucker. Why were Joe Biden rallies dead? Because nobody fucking really wanted to vote for Joe Biden. They just didn't want Trump to win.
But just the mainstream media, the tech overlord, suddenly censorship in a way we've never seen. The president of the United States is being censored right now. Every single tweet saying this information is disputed. It is not up to tech to tell us that information is disputed. In a free country,
they can do whatever the fuck they want. It's a private company, bro. If you're gonna be fucking capitalist, then be fucking capitalist, dog. You can't like half-ass and then be like, oh, you can't like half-ass act like they're a fucking public domain and shit. You know what I mean? If you're gonna fucking cape and cope for capitalism, right? Then you gotta fucking hard cape and cope for fucking capitalism. You can't just half-ass that shit, dude. It's a private company. They can do whatever the fuck they want, right? I don't actually agree with that, by the way. I think that companies should be held somewhat morally accountable for the things that happen and shit on their sites, right? But that's very communist of me. Either way, though, one of those things isn't providing a fact-checking system. That's actually something that's actually one of the things I think they should have.
1 + 1 = 3.
Yes. I don't know. I actually don't know the context.
I feel like that was the financial backbone behind this great rigging. And then, of course, censorship, which we saw in a way that we've never seen. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but just the mainstream media, the tech overlord, suddenly censorship in a way we've never seen. The president of the United States is being censored right now. Every single tweet saying this information.
Bruh, Candace Owens kind of woke, bruh. She's talking about the tech overlords and shit. It's weird how, like, despite being heavy capital, like, just you know, heavy neoliberals and shit, they still have disdain for these companies when they do things that aren't directly benefiting their cause. That's a bit interesting. What is she talking about? She is talking about Beijing Biden and Trump's last stand against socialism. Right now she's talking about media, about like Twitter and stuff censoring, right? Trump's tweets by putting fact checkers under them, not removing them, by the way, just fact checking them. Like, that's it.
Information is disputed. It is not up to tech to tell us that information is disputed. In a free country where I truly have the right to free speech, I should be able to just say 1 + 1 = 3. Why would Facebook pull that information and fact check it? I mean, it's not up to Facebook.
Why not? Why not? That's the real question.
Facebook could tell you that information is false. It's up to your brain and critical thinking to tell you that information is false. But
so, okay, it's up to your brain and critical thinking. So if I'm just completely ignorant, right? and I receive some information, I'm supposed to just deduce in my head whether or not it's false or if it's accurate. Meaning, if I had no conceptual like idea of what 1 plus 1 or what 1 and 1 were, right? If in my head the word 1 had the inherent value of 2, right? There is no way uh that my brain, if I had that false knowledge in my head, could just decipher basic math from that point forward. I would have to find out. What? You spent $5 for $2.45? I I don't know how I don't know how it works. I don't know how. See, look, right? For example, look at this. You spent $5 for $2.45. I don't know. Yeah, they must take a cut, right? I don't know, right? So I can't do fucking critical thinking in my head if I don't have enough information from other sources. Now, what I can do is look up how bits work as far as Twitch is concerned, and then I can do that.
But as we move towards this totalitarian society, they actually don't want people to think critically. That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's a fat cut. That's like a 55% cut. That shit. Whew.
They want to give them information, tell them
Thank you for the money though, Dito. I appreciate it, bro.
it's true and tell them what's false. I mean, right now you have Americans that are walking around who genuinely believe that.
So here's the thing, right? If Facebook, right, or YouTube, for example, if they were to just put something here that said, hey, this bitch is wrong, and then just not give a link, not give a source, nothing, right? Like, I would say that's a bit disingenuous. You know, that's not cool, right? But they give the fucking links and shit. And if you want, you could even fact check those sources yourself. But at least you have, right, the basis that they're going off of. And it's not like they're just fucking shooting in the dark, shooting shit down. Yeah, usually there's a link. I don't actually, you know what? I wonder. I haven't been on Twitter in a long time, so I actually have to double check that. But I know that on Facebook it gives you the link, and I know that on YouTube it'll give you the link. If anything is fact checked on Facebook, if anything is fact checked on YouTube, right? Then there'll be a little like thing here, and it'll say like show me. Like if I click this link, open a new tab, right? I can look. It'll bring me to this. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll actually bring me to what the source is. I don't know about Twitter though. I haven't been on Twitter in a long time.
Because the news told them it was. That is like, there is just no critical thinking. They do not understand how elections work. They do not understand that that President Trump is their current president, and they do not understand that former vice president.
Y'all got any of them pixels? Like, holy shit. Look at her fucking, like, what does she record this shit with?
President Joe Biden is not.
My phone could do better than this. Oh my god. Yo, this bitch is streaming at a fucking like 1,000 kilobytes per second bit rate and shit.
The president-elect, because they are so caught in the media simulation, they believe everything the media tells them. It's scary. It's like mass brainwashing, and then they attack us, and they actually.
Bro, it's literally like it's fucking up her facial structure. Oh, wait, I need to focus on what she's saying. I need to stop.
That are walking around who genuinely believe that Joe Biden is the president-elect because the news told them it was. That is like, there is just no critical thinking. They do not understand how elections work. They do not understand that that President Trump is their current president, and they do not understand that former.
Yes, they do.
Vice President Joe Biden is not.
It's not the highest. But 720p shouldn't look like this, my friend. Oh, okay, yeah, 720p is the... Never mind. So, 720p shouldn't look like this, right? For example, But let's see. Let's go to like a live action or some shit. We could even go to this, right? Look at this.
And B, that fact actually plays into the conviction rates.
Look, this is 720p.
The evidence that
you see how clear his face is?
Disproportionately convicted is pretty overwhelming, especially since a lot of those convictions are for non-violent offenses, drug offenses, or one thing which that's causing.
At any point in this,
I did hear.
And by the way, it's not her camera. It's the fact that she's streaming at low bit rate, I think, is actually the problem that she's having.
The respiratory. I heard
but look,
something about
720p.
the agent that they were using. If that's true, because I
right.
haven't looked into it yet. If that's true, I totally condemn that, and like that's okay.
And
so,
it looks good. Right? There's a very large difference here. And trust me, it's not the frames per second. It's actually streaming it at low bit rate. Like I said, this is what my stream would look like if I fucking had Modern Warfare. I was playing Modern Warfare with 6 Chrome tabs open, and I was multi-streaming to Facebook. Then my stream would also look like this.
Not the president-elect, because they are so caught in the media simulation. They believe everything the media tells them. It's scary. It's like mass brainwashing. And then they attack us, and they actually believe that 71 million Americans that cast their ballot for President Donald Trump are white supremacists and racists, including the black ones like me.
But you are, though. You literally will just lie. You've been shown to just lie. To pander to these interests. Oh no, she is extremely wealthy. She can definitely buy better internet, better anything, bro.
Opinion from a foreign policy perspective on what's going on in this country. Again, opinion, Google, so you can't censor an opinion. I was trying.
Yeah, they can. They can technically censor whatever they want. I don't agree with it. Like I said, I don't exactly agree with that, but they are a private company, right? And you taking, again, I stated this, if you take the capitalist side, if you take the side of neoliberalism, right? Is she pro foreskin? Bro, let's fucking find out, dude. Because this video is actually boring. I'm more intrigued. I'm less intrigued with her argument, right? And more disgusted by her fucking shit bitrate for her stream. Like, you couldn't ask, like, fucking one person you know that's a streamer. You couldn't. Caitlyn fucking Bennett has better video quality than that. That's a fucking shame. Is Candace Owens pro foreskin? Let's see. I don't think every receipt of proving Candace Owens is a con artist who was following the money. I think I've read this before.
Trying to kind of put the pieces together. Obviously, we understand.
Wait, what was the first article? Wait, what was the first article? Did I miss something? Hold up. Hold on. Let me go to my history. Oh, the one that, yeah, she's a con artist. Oh, okay, I did click on it. Okay. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay. Alright, a good bit of a delay. I don't know. Alright, I'm pivoting. I can't do this. I can't look at this. I need higher quality vids.